So for anyone who's here who may be thinking about joining, I will start by saying choose your sponsor wisely. They will tell you that in direct sales, your sponsor will not make or break you. That's not necessarily true. It is possible to do it without a sponsor, but it's very hard. And if any of you are interested in my backstory, I have a YouTube video I can give you the link to. So like I said, I planned for like 6 or 7 weeks as to what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. I did. I had a notebook and I would check in with Cheryl and Becca like every day. And I'm like, I've got this many parties booked. I've talked to this many people. I've told this many people I'm coming back. Because while I was still active with another company, I could not actively try to sell Younique. But I reached out to family and friends, people that I was close to. Would you host a party for me if I came back? Would you still be interested in the products? You were one of my best customers. My first day, I had 6 parties to start. When I, look at Randy's face, when I go live, I don't, and Cheryl can tell you, Cheryl has seen me go live through my stages. And when I was going live 2 months ago, it was, hey guys, it's Brandie. We're going to do some makeup today. Where some of y'all were on my live earlier and I was like, all right, so we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Do it with a passion. You want people to see that you love what you do and that you believe in what you do. A lot of it, I did it scared because I could have easily failed at this. I was terrified I made the wrong decision to come back, that I should have just stayed out of direct sales, period. That, you know, oh, just the makeup thing isn't for me. I'll buy from Cheryl. I'll buy from Becca. I'll share the love. I was terrified. So I started out like with this Epic. So I had issues with the fiber lashes. So when Epic came out, Cheryl was like, hey, let me send you this mascara. Because we'd already talked. We knew what was going to happen. Hey, let me send you this mascara. I'm like, okay. I've had no issues with it. So I'm walking around. Hey, how old's your mascara? Here, have some Epic. You shouldn't wear mascara that old. I'm trying to be proactive in the way that I reach out to people. And that comes down to being sharesy, not salesy. If I was being salesy, I'd be like, so I've got this new eyeliner and you really need to try it because it's the best eyeliner on the face of the earth. Where it's, guys, you see this? Look at this blue. Everybody needs this blue in their life. Especially Cheryl, because Cheryl looks really good in polarized. Ask people, is there one thing I can replace in your makeup bag? And I know that sounds cheesy, but it's true. Do you need an eyeliner? Hey, you've got eyeliner? Do you need a sharpener? Just one little thing. Any little bit. This was me at 2 o'clock this morning, 1:30 this morning. What's one thing that I can get for you? So day one, I qualified white. Thanks to my husband's aunt who placed a very big order. She said, I've been waiting for 6 months for you to come back. She was out of everything. Hit yellow in a week with those parties that were going. Again, this is not the norm. Remember, I did this for 2 years before I left. I had a customer base that I could reach out to. So by no means think that Becca and Cheryl and I are going to be like, hey, you've got to hit yellow in a week just because Brandie did it or Heather did it. Shout out to my girl. It's not the norm. It's not expected. I hit pink in 2 weeks, which is where I was when I left. So September 2015 was the first time I ever hit pink. September 2016 was the second time I ever hit pink previously. So September's kind of my month. So when Heather joined and I realized that she was rocking, I was like, okay, so maybe we have a shot at pink. And we touch base every day. She owns the gym. She and her husband own the gym that Lizzie cheers for. So, we go in for practice. I'm like, all right, what do we got going? What do we got going? And her momentum kept my momentum. And we just kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, Heather, I think we just kind of fed off of each other's momentum, right? Well, then when I hit pink, Becca turned around and said, but what if you hit blue? Excuse me? I never hit blue before. Okay, Cheryl and I were running partners. The closest I ever got was 60%. And when you hit pink, you're automatically 50% to blue. I'm like, okay. So I like a challenge. Becca says hit blue. Okay.
Let's be clear, none of us actually thought that she actually could do that. When we joked with her about, well, I don't know, you're probably going to hit blue before the end of the month, knowing the way you're working, we kind of were really joking. We didn't actually expect it to happen. We were like, keep working, so that she wouldn't just stop working, but we didn't actually expect it to happen.
But the thing was, I checked out. I was like, I hit pink, I'm back where I was. I'm going to take the next 2 days off. I was like, I'm tired. And then more people bought. And then Heather sold more. And then somebody joined Heather's team. And then Allie earned her kit back. And I was like, well, okay. So starting yesterday, we were at what, 850, I think? Between 850 and 1,000 away from blue. And literally, we messaged all day long, like our whole team. Becca was live with me at 1:00 this morning. And she's like, you couldn't hear me. And she's like, all right, so I'm going to talk for Brandie. You, Mary, you need this. And you need that. And y'all need to go buy this. And somebody just needs to let Brandie make a box for $82. Like, it really was a team effort. But the thing was, I have taken to heart all of the training that I have been given. I was somewhere under Bree before, but I was never included in her trainings. And the fact that it's been what, 3, this will be my 4th call with her this week. Every week I show up and I take to heart what she says. She does record them. So if you can't show up, if you're in our circle, you have access to these trainings, and they're huge because she's one of the top earners in Younique. Saying that for the people who don't know. We have our team calls. I show up for the team calls. I take to heart what Cheryl and Becca say. I could have easily come in and been like, I've done this before. I don't need to hear this. But obviously there was a reason it didn't work before. There was a reason I didn't get here before. Trying to go through my notes here. One big thing that I had to overcome was negative thoughts that just kind of sit and fester. Whole bunch of negativity. Again, if you want to know the full story, message me. I will send you the YouTube link. It will share the whole story. But I had to get to a point where the negativity didn't rule. Here. We're here. Here. I went and saw Amber Voigt at convention when I went 2 years ago. And the first thing she said was, you change your mind and you change your life. And that is 100% true. I didn't really understand what she meant then, but that phrase just stuck with me. And when I changed my mind about how it was going to go, hold on, sorry. This is a teammate who can't find the meeting. Luckily, I could just copy and paste it. But when I changed my mind about what I was going to do and how I was going to do it, and Cheryl and I had several heart-to-hearts before I decided to come back. I kind of knew at that point what I wanted, and it was a matter of making it happen. And y'all, I'm sorry, I just look weird in earrings. I can't. Sorry. But that's what it is. It's getting past every obstacle that's thrown at you, getting out of your own head. Don't put too much into it. Don't think about it. If you think about it, you have more of a chance. That's the husband. Of talking yourself out of it, of talking yourself out of doing it scared. I know a lot of people can't go live. Oh, I was terrified. I will go live with the best of them now. I am kind of addicted to going live.
The great thing about live is that if you're smart, you don't watch it back, right? So you just go live, and then you don't have time to critique yourself. That for me was huge, because I would spend hours making a video of something simple like putting on freaking lipstick. Right? And it would take me hours, and I can go live using and I don't look at it. I just go live, and when I'm done, I'm done. I don't have that time to self-reflect and get those negative thoughts. And I screw up on my lives all the time, but I just don't think about it. Just move on.
But that's what I always, whenever I screw up, I'm like, and that's the beauty of live, folks. You get the human. The only one that I've gone back and watched is the one I put on YouTube, which is when Becca told me about the pink bag. And I lost my mind. That's probably the only one that I've ever rewatched. And it was because it was uploading. But yeah, I never go back and rewatch anything. Never. But that's the thing, like if you're in a lull, because I know most of y'all are already in the business. If you're in a lull, or if you're, Angela just popped on, if you're just starting out, make a list of people that you think, like family members, that you think would host a party. If they tell you no, you got the practice of asking. I made a post earlier. I was like, if I've sent you a PM, can you at least answer me? Because I'm trying to follow up on all the PMs that I've sent. And I'm like, if you at least tell me no, I'm okay with that, and I'll leave you alone. But if you don't answer me, I'm going to be like, hey, did you get my message? Hey, did you get my message? Hey, you got my message, right? You want some mascara? I'm going to bug you. So there wasn't a lot to it. It was just a lot, honestly, a lot of pre-planning. It was a lot of talking to people, getting out of the comfort zone and being like, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. And I got very lucky and have friends and family who are supportive. My former customers are supportive. One of them joined. Absolutely, Randy. Absolutely. This is definitely a very, very different environment than what I had before. And it's huge. So I'm going to go back to the beginning and say, choose your sponsor wisely, because it can come back to bite you in the butt if you don't. My first sponsor, turn my volume off. Little background. My first sponsor said, hey, I saw this thing on Dr. Oz, and it's this mascara, and I joined, and you're going to join, and I'm going to pay for your kit. Keep in mind, we cannot pay for anybody's kit. I didn't know. I was like, okay, whatever. Sure, I'll do it. I had no intentions of doing anything. I came into it deliberate this time. I knew what I wanted, and I had a roundabout idea of how I wanted to get there. And part of it was choosing the right sponsor. He was up there like beaming. Sponsorship. Yes, Miss Becca. Sponsorship.
Yeah, that's really good information. I have some things that I wanted to add and a couple questions that I wanted to ask you. Okay. So what I wanted to say is, Brandie coming in really, like she said, that she really set herself up for success with having so many parties on the books already and things like that. And a lot of you are probably thinking like, oh my gosh, well, I already started and I didn't have that, so where do I go from now? But it's never too late to start now and make the push for what you want to achieve in your business. You can always and the other thing that I really did want to cover again was, you said something really big that kind of stuck out to me, was when you got on the team call with Bree. And it's right. She told you directly, when you show up, you go up. And I feel like that cannot be more true with your story, because you've showed up to the meetings, you've, put in the effort and the time that it actually takes to be successful, and you're getting what you want out of this business because you're putting in effort into it. A lot of people join with the mindset that it's just, an easy road, and it's not. It takes work, but it's also worth it. And I did want to also touch on where you said about the live videos and things like that. You're exactly right. I think it's very important to still push past your fears and do it scared. Like, all of us have different struggles or places that we feel like are shortcomings or are down.
Oh my God.
Whatever, but we're worried about ourselves.
William said, are you talking to a robot?
Our own toughest critics, and what you think might be wrong with you or what you're going to do wrong. Really bad. They're all laughing. Drug there.
When you're holding your laughing at you back.
We're not laughing at you. We're
laughing with you.
Even though you're not laughing yet.
No, okay.
You'll laugh when you watch the playback, because you're gonna have to go see.
You can hear me.
I wish I could even make out what she's saying, because I'm like hearing like, screw you guys.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, y'all. It's cutting it. Yeah, I got you, Becca.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So I will piggyback on to what I think she was saying, and that is, we all have our downfalls and our setbacks. I personally, I'm home all the time, but I have 4 kids and I have a disabled husband, and we are at the doctor almost every day, and I'm constantly running, constantly busy, and I do a lot of my working from my phone, and I try to really plan and think out things that I'm doing, so people are coming to me instead of me having to try to go look for people. And so I've gotten really good at getting people to ask me if they can have a party, so that I'm not out there like asking people that I haven't ever asked before, like trying to start something new. I've gotten really good at that, and I've watched people in a lot of direct sell companies, so that if I see them using an idea that I think I can adapt and make work for me, I figure that out. I will sit and talk with Becca, and her and I will come up with a plan to make it work. And so if anybody's having trouble, if you ask us, like, I have ideas, and I will have posts that will have tons of interaction, and it's because I've literally sat and thought them through. A lot of times writing them out in my notes on my cell phone like 25 times until I perfect it and get it right. And one of my big downfalls, everyone has them. One of my big downfalls is I'm so busy, I'm super forgetful. And if I don't write stuff down, I forget it all. And so Brandie would message me and be like, I'm blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what the heck is she talking about? And I'd have to like look at my notes and be like, oh, that's right. And I mean, we all have our place. And when I first started with Younique, I didn't wear makeup. I had a very small circle of friends. We had been in Kansas for like 9 months at that point. My husband is retired military. We'd been there for about 9 months at that point, and I really hadn't branched out and made a lot of friends because his medical issues were getting to be really bad. And then we moved here, and I do all of my business online, but I do it in the minute here and there. And I mean, what Brandie did was phenomenal, and it was crazy. I mean, watching her do that so quickly, a lot of it was pre-planning, but a lot of it was also the passion and determination and the desire not to give up. Like, she knew what she wanted, and she was going to find a way to make it happen. I mean, I think it was like 3 days before she hit blue, I was like joking with her, like, you're totally going to hit blue this month. And she was like, yeah, it's going to happen. And I was like, I know, I can tell. Like, just by the sheer determination in her voice, I knew it was going to happen. Come hell or high water, that girl was going to find her way to blue. And,
right? That last $82 proved it.
Yeah. I mean, hours we were sitting there on live, I mean, at the end of the night. And that doesn't mean you have to have that kind of time, but
no. This was not my normal. I don't normally have time like that.
No. And I mean, I honestly felt really bad because I was like trying to keep up with the messages because we were messaging about things and trying to help her plan and things, and I would get so behind. I'd be reading like 70 messages at once, like, what's going on? Yeah. And you can be busy and still be successful. I mean,
absolutely. I've done this while being a full-time nurse. You know, Becca, to answer your question, consistency, yes. From partying, I'm not 100% sure of. Mainly because I had a lot of previous customers who reached out and said, oh, you're back, I need this. Yes, you do need the parties, because even if your parties don't qualify, you're still making the connections. Like, I had one party who, this person booked a party, this one booked off of her, and then this one booked off of her, and I got like 5 parties out of that circle of friends. This wasn't this last 2 weeks, but just an example that you host a party and you never know what you're going to get. And I'm still friends with these people on Facebook. So thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. But yeah, I think it's more just putting yourself out there and willing to show people that you're vulnerable. And that was a big part of this. It was me going back and saying, I did this, and now I'm back to this. I don't know. I think it was me willing to admit that I wasn't where I needed to be, and now I'm back home. I think that was a huge part of it. Was because it showed people that I wasn't just out there for the sales. I wasn't just out there, you know, whatever. I had somebody message me today and say, I want to do what you do, but I feel like the last time I did it, I was just shoving Younique in people's faces. And now it seems like you have people coming to you and not you going to them. And I told her, I said, before you make a decision, I told her about Sherry Brown's video about the art of non-selling. Go watch that, because that's all it is. It's me walking around. Hey, how old's your mascara? Look at my mascara. Isn't that cool? Don't you want to try that? Okay, you're good with yours? All right, bye. 3 days later. Hey, what about that mascara you told me about?
That's one of the other things that is really important. I'm not going to talk to you right now. Sorry, not you guys. I'm still like down here. Is being willing to know or understand and not take it to heart when people say no, or when people don't even want to say no because they're afraid of hurting your feelings, and they don't realize that honestly the no would actually hurt your feelings less than just being ignored, because you're like, exactly. We're still friends. Like, why you want to just tell me no? It's cool. And
I don't care if you tell me no, just answer me.
Yeah, the moment you can detach yourself from that, it's like freeing. And I know Bree taught last week about making sure that when people don't answer you or when you don't get the response you want, that you go back and talk to them just about real life. Like sometimes that feels awkward, and that I needed to hear that, to have that permission to recontact them, because I was afraid that I had offended someone. And the moment that I realized that I don't need to be afraid of that, and I could just message those people back, I mean, that's huge, huge. This is a business that, I mean, you have to have the desire to do it. This isn't something that just anybody is going to do. You have to want to do it. But if you want to do it and you're coachable and you listen to the things that you're told and you attend some trainings, and whether it be like this, a Zoom call, or going somewhere like Empower You or convention, you attend some trainings, you check in, read your team pages, whatever it is that you need to do, so that you are connected and you know what's going on and you're willing to put in the effort, even if it is 20 minutes a day.
Right.
You get there. It just might take time to get there.
That's it. Just make it fit where you can. I don't want to request record permission. What? Okay, sorry. I apparently clicked somewhere on my computer. I don't even remember what I was saying now. That was weird.
Does anybody have any questions for Brandie or for any of us?
I want to know where Heather's eating. Just because I keep seeing like random decor. I'm like, where are they? That's why I'm doing this.
Her face.
Where are they?
But she's not going to show you anyway.
Mute yourself, sweetie. Do I? Okay, groups for parties, I would say closed if you were going to offer anything. Anytime you're going to offer even free shipping, unless you say like bulk order. But occasionally in a party, I'll be like, hey, the next 2 orders will get free shipping. That needs to be in a closed group or a secret group. Sorry, my mother-in-law's asking me about like Facebook issues. How do I enlarge a video when they come up like this on their page? I don't know.
Sorry guys if I was cutting out. I finally have a little service, so hopefully you guys got some entertainment value.
Yes. You need to go back and watch that, Becca.
I will have to. You guys were laughing and I was like, I don't know what is going on, but I don't think they can hear me.
No, even Will was back there laughing. I mean,
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was, yeah, it was pretty amazing. It was epic.
It was epic.
That was for groups, Kim. I personally don't really use events because I find events don't work for me. Cheryl uses events. I think it's just, you've got to play around with it and find what works best for you.
I personally, every time I've done groups, have ended up with issues, so I don't ever do groups anymore. I did groups. I've done it half and half, and frequently I'll go, you know what, I'm going to try groups again, and I'll try it again, and every time without fail, something goes really terribly wrong. So I haven't done a group in coming on a year. It's been about a year since I've done a group, other than my VIP group. But other than that, I don't do groups. Unless I have a host specifically asked to do a party in a group, and then I will.
I know we have a couple people here who are not presenters. Do y'all have any questions? My purpled hair, Becca.
What was that? Sorry. What'd you say?
Becca. I said I know we have people here who are not presenters. Do they have any questions?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I said my purple-haired Becca because my other Becca's here.
Oh, okay. Yay. I was like, wait, what?
You can unmute yourself, or if you just like wave your hand around, I can unmute you.
Thank you, Alexis. Kim, it varies. It depends on the Hey, Tenley. It depends on the party, honestly.
Her bedtime was an hour ago.
I was going to say, she's supposed to be in bed.
Actually, more like an hour and 15 minutes ago. Tomorrow, I feel bad. Her teacher is going to message me like 25 times tomorrow.
Does anyone else have any questions? I'll give it just a few minutes and see if anyone else pops in with any questions for Brandie or any of us, or about the opportunity or anything.
Kitty cat. Sorry.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Angela's kitty cat.
Well, thank you guys, everybody, for joining us tonight. I think that we're done. And I hope everybody got something out of this. And those of you who aren't on our team, we would love to have you guys. And guys, the ones who are, we'll have our meeting again next week. And,
yes.
Go ahead, Becca.
And thank you so much, Brandie, for doing this training. I know it's kind of nerve-wracking being put on the spot, and we were like, hey, do this training. But we really love the information we got from you. And I think everyone was able to take away something, even the people that aren't in the business, about boosting confidence, things like that. So it was awesome.
Thank you, Adrian.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you guys next week on our team call then. Bye, guys.
Bye.